Tiger fans, what's going on, guys? So, a lot of content this past week for all you guys to watch and enjoy, and I appreciate all the comments, a lot of interaction over the last couple of videos, and I appreciate everyone who comments and watches and likes. That baseball banter with Mike was probably one of my favorite I've ever done with him. That's exactly how a real life conversation is when he calls me randomly, and I think that was like the most authentic baseball conversation him and I have had, just shooting from the cuff. So, like I said, a lot of content this past week. So this video isn't going to be the longest because we only have a couple of games here to talk about. So, fresh out of the break, first things first, there was an open spot on the roster, and the Tigers decided not to call up any of the big three, which is Colt Keith. Obviously, Colt Keith has only had a couple of weeks in AAA. They're not going to call him up. He's 6 for his last 26 down there. I'm not alarmed whatsoever. His on base is still in the 380s. The dude's a stud. He's finally jumping a level, and he's finally being challenged. So, Parker Meadows continues to kill it. Justin Henry Malloy has been really good after his little bit of a cool off there. But the call-up was, as we all suspected, it was Nick Maton. So this first game of the Seattle series, the Tigers ended up smacking 3 home runs. Michael Lorenzen's on the bump. Had a no-hitter through like 5 2/3 of this game. Probably one of his most brilliantly pitched starts, even though he had quite a few walks. But his slider and changeup was really good. So the Tigers will come out of the break showing a lot of power. Kerry Carpenter somehow hits an opposite field home run on a pitch that seemed like he took it out of the catcher's mitt. I mean, to muscle a ball that far the opposite way, when that ball is that deep on you, that is just absolutely astounding and super impressive. And Kerry Carpenter, he, I think, has the 5th most home runs by a Tigers hitter through their first 80 games in the big leagues. So for everyone that had doubted his ability to come up here and hit big league pitching, he's shutting a lot of people up. That power last year was not a fluke. That power is absolutely playing in the big leagues. He is murdering fastballs. And that's one thing that this Tigers team really hasn't done at all over the last few years, is hit fastballs. I mean, you can even look today, like on some of the pitches that Torkelson struck out on, like the last one today was a pitch right down the middle from Paul Sewald. This Tigers team really has not hit fastballs whatsoever, but, you know, Kerry Carpenter's got like an 800 OPS against fastballs that is through his first 80 games. So the guy likes the heater, and he doesn't miss it most times. And he's been absolutely outstanding since coming back from injury. So he hits a home run. Akil Baddoo, the Tigers this game were just hitting 2-run, 3-run shots. Akil Baddoo hits a home run, absolutely launches it, and when I had said on my second half preview video and giving the first half report card, I wanted to see Baddoo hopefully go back to having his extra base power before he hurt his calf, and sure as shit, first game back of the second half, he goes and hits I think it was a 2-run shot, and it was a piss missile. The Tigers were absolutely peppering right center field this game. I wonder, it's almost like there's like a jet stream that takes the ball out there. Torkelson just missed a home run this game. It could have been 4. He just hit it off the bat. And then the legendary, the man himself, Wolfie, comes up, hits a home run to seal it late in the game. His was the 3-run shot. Akil Baddoo's was the 2-run shot. And I think Kerry Carpenter's was a 2-run shot. So he comes back and hits a 3-run shot, absolute piss missile rocket off of his bat. And it was good to see. He did hit, I think, 2 home runs during his 11 games down there. He hit almost 300. The Tigers had him at shortstop to help him work out his glove. And then he was playing second when he came back up, and he made a really nice play at second base. So, I've never disliked Nick Maton, but he needed to get sent down. I'm still genuinely a little bit surprised that he was only down for 11 games. I mean, you look at like Spencer Torkelson, he was struggling worse than Spencer Torkelson struggled last year when they had finally sent him out at the All-Star break, right? And Spencer Torkelson spent 6 weeks down at Toledo before they called him up right with the September call-ups. I mean, he was down there from the time the All-Star break happened till the September call-ups. He was down there a while. And they said they didn't know if it was going to be a week or 2 weeks. Well, I thought the same kind of consensus was going to be on Nick Maton. He's going to need more than a few at bats. He's going to need more than a few games to prove that he's able to make these adjustments. I guess 286 with a couple of home runs is enough. I don't know. I mean, it's going to remain to be seen to this point because we don't know, if these changes are legitimate. I'm happy that, he came back up and had instantaneous results, which, anything helps this team. And to see them hit that many home runs right off the rip was awesome. So game 2, this was pretty much just Kerry Carpenter's game. Kerry Carpenter hit 3 home runs this series, had a 2 home run game yesterday. And that second one, man, Kerry really, really likes the ball at the letters. He has so much bat speed. I don't know. You guys got to realize something. Pitches up at the letters, when they're throwing 98, to be able to barrel that ball, to be able to get on top of that ball, to rip it out like he did, you have to have so much bat speed. Your hands have to be so quick to get pitches that high, because it's not easy to catch up the pitches up at that level up there because of trying to catch up to it. And he really likes that pitch up. And I'm still going to say this because I've said it before. I'm still a little leery that doesn't come back to bite him in the ass, because Kerry Carpenter's walks to strikeout ratio is not nearly like it was in the minors where he showed nearly a 1-1 ratio. And him liking to chase the ball at the letters as much as they do, teams, I think, are just going to continually to pitch him up a little bit higher and him chase because he is susceptible to that. But, man, game of his career yesterday, 2 home runs, absolutely single-handedly destroyed the Mariners, and the Tigers were going to play for the sweep today. Well, it's extremely hard to sweep a Major League Ball club. The Mariners came out, got a couple of runs early. Reese Olson looked absolutely outstanding this game. His stuff is so legit. That slider is extremely nasty. He's got a good curveball. That fastball's firm. He pitched absolutely outstanding, and only had a couple of blemishes against him. I mean, he had a couple of bad pitches. He had a double that led in a run, and a home run. I mean, he pitched great. His offense was in and up today. After clubbing, what was it? They hit 5 home runs in 2 games. I think they got 4 hit today. And Javier Baez coming up in big situations, and Spencer Torkelson's guilty too today, striking out in a couple of big spots. Javier Baez looks absolutely fucking lost. He has been so trash since he got benched in Toronto and had that one little tiny hot streak and then was destroying the ball. Since then, he has been fucking trash. He's got 7 hits for the month of July. He has been absolutely terrible. He's got 6 walks over that. I think he's got 6 walks in his last 112 plate appearances. He's been dog shit. Absolutely dog shit. But other than that, I mean, like I said, we only have 3 games to talk about this week. It's not going to be anything too elaborate. Riley Green slowed down a little bit. He's been striking out a little bit more. I think it's just a matter of, he only was up for a couple more games for the All-Star break, and it's going to take him a few games to get his timing back, even though he has had a few hits and a home run already, but he's chasing a little bit. I think that's just a little bit. He's still knocking some of the rust off because of the break right off the rip after he came back. Pitchings look good. I still dead set that they're going to be sellers. I don't care what Scott Harris said this week about their mindset might change if they've come out of the break hot. I know they go to Kansas City, and Kansas City's been absolutely abysmal this year, but I still think that when you see these guys like Lorenzen and Erod start, you're seeing some of their last starts. So I got for you guys this week. Short video, short, sweet, and quick. And I'll be back next week when we have a full week of baseball to talk about. Go Tigers.